Welcome to another exciting edition of Travel Guide. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Today we will be visiting the Chicago History Museum. The admission was but pricey, so check for coupons, but worth the cost if you have a few hours to devote to the visit. It can really bring some memories back for long-time residents, and shed some light on a great city for visitors, or newer residents. Sit inside an original subway car, listen to exhibits in an audio tour, or have lunch at the museum's on-site cafe. Closes 3 p. It's accessible by bus, and is close to Lincoln Park, and the Lincoln Park Zoo, Aquarium, Nature Museum, and the lakefront beach. Many of the galleries are focused on the history of Chicago, and much of the history of Chicago is quite fascinating. Aside from that, however, there are special exhibits which focus on particular issues of sociological and historical importance, whether related to Chicago or not. And just being able to see the actual bed in which Abraham Lincoln passed away is worth the price of admission. The best value for your museum dollar. The Chicago History Museum looks into the past, but has contemporary items as well. The exhibits celebrate the past and present, but also delve into the dark aspects of both America's and Chicago's treatment of minorities and laborers. A good place to see the history of Chicago, although it might occur to be quite a boredom for those who are not much of a history fan. Fabulous, informative exhibits. The fella at the desk was beyond helpful about explaining where everything was, and the best path to follow to see it all. This museum is very well made, and super informative. They have nice exhibits that really teach the history of the city. It is located in Lincoln Park at 1601 North Clark Street at the intersection of North Avenue in the Old Town Triangle neighborhood. For me, this museum was small, but there were plenty to see. There was a section that displayed an old train engine, and an old Chicago streetcar that you could walk through. Believe or not, there was a room where you could sing a blues karaoke song. If you are around Lincoln Park, the Chicago History Museum is a great place to spend a couple hours, or so, and learn about the city's past. It is located in Lincoln Park at 1601 North Clark Street at the intersection of North Avenue in the Old Town Triangle neighborhood. Much of the early collection of the Chicago Historical Society was destroyed in the Great Chicago Fire in 1871, but like the city, the museum rose from the ashes. Experience the Chicago area history from its days as a swampy fort with local native tribes to the modern super city today. Come early, and see it all. They keep a Chevy Monte Carlo lowrider car in the lobby. There is also an amazing cafe, with good coffee, and muffins. And a really cool sunroom to sit in with your coffee, best during summer when you can see the foliage, but also cool in winter. A great place to learn about Chicago history, and how the city got started, along with an amazing interactive exhibit on race. Didn't try the food in their cafeteria, but the museum is in such a great area that you can find a variety of restaurants within the mile radius. There is a replica of one of the first city air trains, as many other sections with different stories about Chicago. Park your vehicle in the museum's parking lot on Stockton Drive so that you can get a discount on the parking. Make sure to spend at least half a day here. They've got so much stuff to check out, a few hours won't be enough. Great looking museum with great exhibits, and shows, and some very cool stuff to see, to like an old train you can walk in, and walk through. Not only do you learn a lot about the history of Old Town, but you learn about the surrounding neighborhoods, Gold Coast, Lincoln Park, and a lot of general Chicago history. The upper floor has dedicated exhibits on the history of Chicago with original objects, but the lower floor galleries, though informative, had very few objects or art on display, which was a disappointment for me. Excellent museum with fun things to do. They have a movie night that was really cool. Head Back to the Future on. Easily accessible by public transportation. Brown Line Sedgwick. It's located in a lovely part of the city, has beautiful interesting exhibits. The place was nice and clean, and lots of exhibits from the Chicagoland area that informs the residents of Chicago as well as the visitors. Staff here are super kind, and the cafe is a great place to unwind even if you are not coming in to see the exhibits. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, and leave your comments below.